Hello and welcome to the Wealthy Trades Daily Market Forecast for April 30th, 2015. I'm doing this a little early. I'm going to try to start doing this at night so I can post these and have this be actionable items in the morning for everybody. So let's dive in. I actually want to dive in. We had an interesting day today. I want to go into the SPY and kind of look at what happened today for the SPY. The SPY was actually not down all that much. It's kind of bumping around. And here's the thing, we're sitting at this level, and this is a key area that we're either going to break above, and I believe we're actually going to break above. In fact, I think there's some nice bullish patterns being put in place right now. I think we're going to break above. The thing is the Dow, because these big multinational companies, all right, so I want to look at the diamonds. The Dow Jones is starting to underperform the SPY and even the Nasdaq a little bit. Nasdaq's underperforming a little bit too, and the reason being is because some of these, on a relative basis, some of these companies, these big multinationals, they're having issues with currency, and so it's affecting them. And as you can see, the diamonds are sitting. They've been in a downtrend. They're sitting right at that shift level. It's actually a pretty key area right here. We've got a pivot low on the diamonds of 180. I'm sorry, 178.55. That level held 2 days ago on Tuesday we had a low of 178.88. So that's going to be a key area. I think we might have an opportunity to test that area tomorrow. The expected low tomorrow is 179.12. So we'll see that. We are going to have a bearish biasness tomorrow on the overall market, and we, even though the SPY is up, here's the deal. We've got a market that is down. It's not down that big. Yeah, I understand that. We only have 50.8% of the market or of the stocks in a downtrend, but anything above 50% is going to indicate our bias, right? And we would normally do a pairs trade when we're not that aggressively down or up. But here's the thing: the breadth, the stocks that are moving down are actually starting to show some pretty substantial signs of weakness, and that's showing in the trend quality. Trend quality is at 51.1%. So we are going to have a bearish biasness tomorrow. And before I go into the trade that we're going to look for tomorrow, so we're going to take a short trade tomorrow without a pairs trade. But before I do that, let's go into the trade that we did today. We called it a pairs trade, long ETR at the open, and so you could have got long at 77.61, and it closed at 78.40. And also there was the expected low in, the expected low. What happened is ETR gapped down substantially at the open, and basically gapped down to the expected low, and that was a good area to buy at. So obviously we bought at the open, but then if you would have added to the position at that level, you could have actually closed. I think the expected low was 78.22 or something like that. So that was another area to add at. But anyway, that was up nicely. And then WYN was our short position, and this was just down ever so slightly. It actually rallied aggressively to start the day and then sold off from there, and offered a decent area to short at the expected high too. So that was a decent trade there. Overall, up about 0.6%. Not bad at all, considering that the Dow itself was down about 0.5%. So not too shabby being up 0.6% in comparison to a market that's really just struggling to find its way. So, but let's figure out what we're going to do for tomorrow. Before, or actually today, if you're watching this, this is for the April 30th. Before I do, I think I need to mention, trading is a business of probabilities. Listen, all we do as traders and investors, all we can do is look at historical reactions or historical performances, profitability, growth, and then forecast, project what our expectations are in the future. That's all we can do. And at wealthytrades.com, we do that better than anybody out there. Doesn't mean that we're going to make money today or this week or even this month, but I'm telling you, we use probabilities to our favor and we take advantage of those opportunities. And we do the same thing in our earnings trades, and I think I feel very compelled to say this is a marathon. Every time you place a trade, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We live in a very much a what have you done for me lately? Show me type of world, and I get that, and I'm totally cool with that, and I'm willing to put myself out there and willing to do what we got to do. But here's the thing: please give us the ample amount of time before you place judgment on any of us, anything we do. I'm telling you right now, what we do is based on historical performances, historical reactions, and it's systematically going to outperform the market over time, simply because if those historical reactions change, then we change our plan. We change our directional bias. We change the stocks we're looking at. It's called rotation. It's called going with the flow, riding the trends as much as we possibly can in the best opportunities we possibly can. And it's the same type of stuff we do in our earnings alerts also. So again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Must say that we are still doing very well on a monthly basis in our day trades. We are still doing very, very well on a monthly basis on our earnings trades. I want to make that very, very clear. And tomorrow, I'll be doing a monthly recap too, which is going decent. So, but anyway, let's go into what we're going to be doing tomorrow, or for the 30th. Let's go into the XLP, and I'm going to bring all the stocks within the XLP, the best performing stocks within the XLP, over into my portfolio. Okay, and real simple. I'm clicked on the daily XLP. We're in a downtrend. It's not an amazing downtrend, but the quality, meaning the breadth, those stocks that are in a downtrend are starting to show signs of weakness. They're starting to get weaker and weaker. And XLP is the best sector to go in. It's got a quality of 67.3. So in that, here's the 8 best stocks for a Thursday to look for shorting opportunities in. So let's find the best opportunity. I'm going to use our pair down technique, and I'm going to look at the levels to win profit. And I'm going to eliminate anything that doesn't make money on both sides. So, for example, XLP, it closed at 48.53 today, right? It's got an expected low because we're in a downtrend. That's the trend side of 48.34. When it hits that, that's good. It makes money historically. But when it hits the counter trend side, 48.73, it loses money. I want to only keep the stocks that make money on both sides. So I'm going to eliminate anything. CL loses money. I'm going to eliminate anything that loses money on any side, whether it's the trend side or the counter trend side. Okay, so we've got it paired down to these 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my secondary pair down technique, which is just look at the levels on levels. And what this is telling me, WBA, for example, closed at 84.57. It's in a downtrend, so the trend side expected range tomorrow is 83.81. All right, it's got a 57.1% probability historically of hitting that. What the levels on levels tells me is it's got a 38.1% probability based on history of closing below that level. That's good, all right? And that's reflected in the levels to win profit too, whereas when WBA hits this level on a Thursday, it typically ends up going lower. I know that because it makes money. 85.33 is the expected upside. It hits that 33.3% of the time, but it only closes beyond that, above that, 14.3% of the time. So what we want to see is we want to see a wide range between these two. Okay, so we've got about a 22-23% range between those two. That's good. Now we want to compare that to MDLZ. This is only 11% range. This is obviously better, that 22-23%. So WBA is better than MDLZ. Let's look at TAP. It's only about a 17% range. WBA is better. KR. All right, well, KR is even better. This is about a 25% range in comparison to a 22-23% range. So KR is better than MBA. Let's look at that compared to Hershey's. Hershey's is good, but not as good as KR. So tomorrow, or Thursday, sorry, our shorting opportunity that we're looking at is in KR. We're going to short at the open. You can also, if we hit the trend side, it closed at 68.79 today. The expected low is 67.96. Historically, it hits that at 53.8% of the time. It closes below that level 36.5% of the time. And here's the thing. When it hits this level, it typically ends up closing lower because of the profit. So that's actually a good area to short at. On the counter trend side, if it rallies up and it hits 69.24, that's a good area to add at too, because it historically only closes above that 11.5% of the time. And when it hits this historically, it typically closes lower, because this is always the levels to win profit is always in the direction of the trend. So when it hits that, it typically closes lower. I know that because of the levels to win profit. So there's technically 3 entry areas on KR for tomorrow. Enter short at the open. If it hits 67.96, you can enter short there. Or if it hits 69.24, you can enter short there. So I get the question sometimes, well, what's your stop, Tyson? My stop is a time stop. I'm going to close the position before the close of the day. So at about 2:58, I'm going to close the position, close all my short positions in KR. That is my trade for tomorrow. I'm short because the market's in a downtrend. Quality's above 50%. The XLP is the best sector to go short in, and KR is the best stock within that sector to go short in. KR is my short opportunity, 3 entry points at the open, on the trend side, or counter trend side. Hey, listen, if you have any questions, email me at info@wealthytrades.com. If you're in your trial subscription, do not let your trial expire. We are the cream of the crop. What we provide, over time, you will realize this. What we provide is cutting edge, the most simple yet powerful way to look at the markets every day, week, and month. Let me know if you have any questions. Email me at info@wealthytrades.com.